Okay, guys, so we are doing binary search using Python. Okay, so what is the logic of binary search? Say we have an list or an array of this of 5 integers 4, 8, 9, 12, and 15. Okay, and here is the index of the array. Index, I will write index, and these are the values. Okay, so here are the index and the values of the uh, list. Now we take two variables, say upper, lower, and upper. This lower and upper mainly defines the lower bound and the upper bound of the array. Okay. Now the middle is always the lower plus upper by 2. So in this case the middle is 2 because lower is taken as 0 and upper is taken as 4. Initially lower and upper is 0 and in minus 1. Okay, so next is, so when we get 2, so array the value of 2 is equal to 9, right? 9. So there are two arrays, sub arrays here, one containing 4 and 8 and one containing 12 and 15. Now we check that if the value which we want to find here is find equal to 12. Okay, here find is equal to 12, we want to find the value 12 here. So lower, uh, so let's check if 12 is smaller than 9 or greater than 9. Now 12 is greater than 9, so we take 9 as the new lower bound and 15 as the new upper bound. That is 2 is the new lower bound and 4 is the new upper bound. Okay, so here we have lower equal to mid, upper remains unchanged. Case is when find is greater than mid. Okay, for better say I will just write it here. Okay, similarly for the case when find is lower than array of mid, that is when we want to suppose say we want to find 8 or 4, we will do is upper equal to mid and lower remains unchanged. Okay, so the new upper bound becomes 9, lower is becomes 4, so the mid value of these two, that is 0 and 2, right? From index we get 0 and 2. 0 plus 2 equal to 2 plus by 2 equal to 1, which we get as 8. So if we want to find 8, we get the value 8. So let's start with the program. First define an empty array or list, whatever you want to call it. Now we are taking it from the user, right? So int anything, suppose I in the range 0, 5 arr dot insert I comma value, which is user given, so it will be input. So as I stated earlier in the previous video, that insert function takes two parameters, one is index and the other is value. Okay, now we have taken the user input. Now let's define the upper upper, which is here 4, but in other cases when you are taking something from the user, when the array size is defined by user, it should be n minus 1. Okay, and the lower, which is equal to 0. One more thing we have to take is what we want to find, right? Okay, and remember one thing, lower remains unchanged, lower is always 0, always 0. Okay, now we want to find something from the user, right? So let's print enter the value to be found. Okay, and take it as find equal to input. Now we are taking input from the user, that what is the value we want to find. Now while lower less than upper, we define mid. First let's define mid, which is lower plus upper divided by 2. And one more thing to remember is that we have to convert that value to integer, as in certain points we might have problem, like suppose say we have 1 and 3. Okay, L equal to 1 and U equal to 3. Okay, in such cases what happens, that Python does not seal or does not make the value seal or anything. Okay, so it when we do such, we will get at one sorry, it will be 0 and 3, then 0 and 0 plus 3 divided by 2 equal to 1.5. Now Python will understand that mid is a floating point number. Okay, and now but in index of list cannot be floating point. Okay, so basically we have to convert this into integer. We have to convert this into integer. So when we write int of 0 plus 3 divided by 2, it basically means 1. Okay, that is the floor value of the floating point number. So we get the middle band, right? Next what we want to do is check if the middle value is equal to the find value, right? So if ARR of mid is in fact find, then we want to print the value is found. Okay, and the position is mid. Okay, elif if ARR of mid is greater than find, then what will happen is lower equal to no, upper equal to mid. Elif if ARR of we don't need to write that, else is lower equal to mid. Okay, and one more thing, we need to break this statement. Okay, break, so we get the value. So now let's run the program and let's see. Anything 4, 5, 6, 8 and 9, and we want to search 8. The value is found and the position is 3. So okay, I will just zoom this one. 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 8 is in third position and we found the value. Let's try it one more time. 4, 5, 6, 8 and 9. Okay, enter the value to be found. Let's see for 4. The value is found and the position is 0. 4 is in 0th position. So we get the This is binary search. Now what is the complexity of binary search? Complexity. Okay, so as I defined earlier, complexity is basically the time needed to execute the whole program, right? In this case, the complexity will be log n, big O of log n. Now why big O of log n? See that for every time, for every iteration, okay, we are dividing the array into two parts, right? So for first iteration, we are dividing the array into two parts. One is n divided by 2 and n divided by 2. Okay, so we can say that array 1 has n by 2 number of pieces and array 2 has n by 2 number of elements. Okay. How is that? See, when we are dividing this array, okay, we are when we get the middle value is 6. There are two arrays now, 4 and 5 and 8 and 9. Now we are taking this sub array and again this sub array, not taking the whole array or searching the whole part of the array. In other words, that we have 4 5 6 8 9. So when find equal to 8, okay, in the first iteration what happens, we get 4 5 6 8 and 9, and we divide the array from 6 and 8. Okay, and now this is a separate array and this is another separate array. Okay, so the new array which we want to search in the second iteration is only 6 8 and 9. Okay, and not 4 and 5. So basically for every iteration we are dividing the array into two parts, into two equal parts. Okay, so let's continue. So in the first iteration it was n by 2 and n by 2. In the second iteration it will be n by 4 and n by 4, right? Third it will be n by 8 and n by 8, and continuing this process, there will be time when we will get that the it will be divided by n by 2 to the power k. As why 2 to the power k? Because 4 is equal to 2 into 2, that is 2 to the power 2, that is 2 to the power 2. Similarly 8 is equal to 2 into 2 into 2, that is 2 to the power 3. So we get n by 2 to the power k. Okay, so when we get n by 2 to the power k, what will happen is that if we take that say n by 2 to the power k equal to 1, then n equal to 2 to the power k, right? And if we take log on both sides, then it will be log of n equal to log of 2 k log 2, which basically means k equal to log of n, and as log 2 is always equal to 1, So the complexity is log n. Thank you guys for watching the video.